All right, good morning, second grade. I'm going to tell you or show you how to do our worship cubism project. So you'll notice I've got two different pictures. I chose to do a violin because I left all my stuff at school and I remembered how to draw a violin because that's what I play. So I drew two pictures of a violin. In your packet, you should have two pictures of an instrument. And they're going to look a little bit different, just like I've got a front and a side view of my violin. You should have two different views of the same instrument. And when I colored my picture, I tried to think, what do I think of when I think about worship? Because this picture is going to show what it feels like to worship. So I did this really quick. I did some cool colors over here because sometimes when I worship God, it just calms me down. And I did some warm, bright, exciting colors over here because sometimes when I worship God, it just makes me feel very excited and just like so joyful. So I wanted to show that in the picture. So when you do your coloring, I want you to think about the colors that you said you think about in worship and put those into your coloring. You can do different designs, you can do polka dots, you can do lines, whatever it is you want to do, but you want to make sure that those colors that you said you think of when you worship God show up in your picture. And now I'm going to cut out around them. And it doesn't, video isn't too long. And now that it's cut out, we're going to do something really crazy. We're going to chop your picture up. Now, the temptation when we chop pictures up is to chop them into teeny tiny pieces because it's really fun. But that's not going to be very easy to do, and it's not going to make your picture look super fantastic. So I'm going to do about 6 different cuts, and I'm going to keep them in rectangles, or mostly rectangles. You can do some slanting lines, but you want it to really still look rectangly. And then I'm going to place it on my picture. I'm not gluing anything yet because I've still got my other instrument to do. So I'm going to real quick cut this one out. And I'll cut in around my lines. Again, don't worry about it being perfect because we're going to be chopping it up anyway. I'm not going to worry about getting in around my scroll too carefully. Almost done. Again, don't worry about it being perfect. And now I'm going to do some more chopping. Remember, try to keep your lines as you're cutting pretty straight. And again, 6 cuts. That's it. So now what I'm going to do, I like that there. I can line my picture up like this, and my pieces of my instrument can go anywhere. So I like this one, kind of coming out of the side of my instrument. I'm going to put this one down here. Move this over. So it's all the pieces of my instrument. I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these down. I'm not going to glue all of them. You will, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. Use a glue stick, or you can even use tape if you have it. I want to get all the corners. I want that one right up on the edge. You can put it wherever you want. That's the cool thing about Cubism, is it's a lot more about the feeling than it is about it being perfect or looking totally real. So this is going to be really different than a lot of the things we've done in class so far. And I want you to have fun with this. Be really creative. For some of you, if you're somebody who likes things really neat, this is going to be hard because we're used to making things look real and not crazy like this. But I want you to really think about, maybe you've been in church or maybe you've been at chapel at school. What does it feel like when you're worshiping God? So I'm just going to finish gluing down this piece, and then I'll show you what to do for your background. Now, if you have markers or colored pencils, I'm going to use markers so they show up well in the video. If you have markers or colored pencils at home, you can go ahead and add details to your background. A lot of times when I think about worshiping God, it feels like a wind to me. It feels like just a cool breeze that's blowing all the bad, icky stuff away. So I'm going to do some lines that kind of look like the wind, but you don't have to do lines that look like the winds. This is your project, and I want you to show me what it feels like when you worship God. And the cool thing about God is that He talks to each of us differently because our personalities are different. So maybe talking to God is really, really exciting for you, or worshiping is really exciting. And so maybe you're going to draw some zigzaggy lines, or maybe you're going to draw polka dots. So I'm going to fill in the background of my picture. I'm going to finish this picture and post it on our lesson on the Google Classroom. But I'm going to end the video here because I think you've got a good idea of what you're doing. So have fun, be really creative, let your imagination really go. And I really want you to make this picture so that it is a visual representation, something we can see with our eyes that shows what it's like when we worship God. Have fun, second grade. I can't wait to see what you make.